What has Pierson meant to your team?
Well, I've told, I think I mentioned the other night after a game, but I've told our guys and Pierson, he's gone way above the call of duty, to be a great team guy, to be a leader, a maturity, understanding what it's about, and really accepting your role, understanding what you're supposed to do, and he does it every day, and even with the tough season, he's kept an unbelievable attitude and tried to be positive. He's a great leader on the bench. Every day comes to practice, and some days he's a 4-man, some days he's a 3. At this, whatever we need, he's been very willing to do that. So can't say enough about him. And also from where he started, 165 pounds with a wet T-shirt at the beginning, and he'd say, "Coach, I can't go. With the big guys, they just beat me up, and then with the guards, they go by me." So, but he, be the last guy at the meals, eating every last bite to gain weight, weight room, all of that, and he's going to have his masters. He's going to be successful. I've kind of joked there'll be a lot of guys coming to him for a job someday in the future, and because I think whatever he does, he'll be very, very successful.
And just to follow up, he was a guy who, long ago, he was ball boy, rebounding for Beasley and Bill Walker and Jacob Poland. Have you gained a sense for what K-State basketball means to Pierson? Oh,
it just, first, when he came to me, him and his family and him, he could have gone to Washburn or some other places and played and probably been, had a good career. But, K-State is very important to him. Obviously his dad was here, played, and then just growing up, being around it, he still talks about, he's the only one that was at the game at Lawrence, where K-State won, years ago, and just as a fan with his dad, probably, so it's really important to it. And he even came to me this week and just said, "Coach, is there anything else I can do to help?" Just out of the blue, and just wanting to have a good finish, to our season, and I just told him, life is not always fair. And that part of it is to learn and for him, help him for his future.
I know this year's been tough, but for a whole career, does Xavier kind of fit in with that Barry, Dean, Cam class as far as accomplishments and what they did in 4 years?
Yeah, he's definitely a major part of that. And, last night, Wyatt and I were going over his stats, on the radio show, and it surprised me. He's not many points away from being in the top 10. He's in rebounding, steals, 3-point makes, starts, just a lot of statistical things that he's done very well. And then part of, some very, very successful teams, there's no doubt. And and again, he's going to graduate School of Business. Been very involved in, more than just being a student athlete on campus and the athletic department. And, you feel great about having him part of your program.
Xavier, do you have an accomplishment of the ones you've had here that stands out above any others when you think back of your best times here?
Definitely Big 12, going back on that. And just being a part of that group, that crew, and just doing the things that we did that year. It was very special. Now, we only had 2 in the last 40 here, so it's special to K-State as well.
Xavier, how do you want K-State fans to remember you?
Just that hard-working player, going out there every game, giving my all to K-State, and just one of the players that just honored to wear the jersey.
Bruce, what is senior day like for you? Obviously you've had a lot of special classes come through, but wins or losses, that all kind of has the same.
Yeah, it's always tough. You feel like you hope you're part of their life and their growth and development as young men and student athletes, and so it's hard to know that this is their last game, and so it's always a tough moment. There's no doubt about that.
Xavier, if you were going to go back and talk to yourself as a freshman, what advice would you give that kid about his 4 years here and what it would be like?
calm down and smile. I know Coach would be happy with those two if I was to be able to tell myself that going back to my freshman year. Just have fun with it. It's been a fun 4 years for me. A lot of ups and downs, but I've just been going through it and just having a lot of fun and taking it every day step by step.
Anyone have anything else for me? Because then Matt can come in here.
Just real quickly, other than the injury change to Iowa State since you last seen him, what have you seen differently on tape?
They're pretty loose and free. Steve, you start losing, and then you lose your best player, and he's kind of. I think he's trying to stay very positive with them, playing hard, trying to push it, get it up and down. Solomon Young's a very good player, and it's. I don't know if it started with our game, but it started around that time. He's figured it out. He had a really good game here as a freshman, if you remember. And then when we played him as a sophomore, he didn't. He was out on the perimeter. They had two big guys. He didn't get as much done. And now it's, hey, I'm a force inside. They go to him, and they play very physical inside with him. And it scares me a little bit because we've had foul trouble with our big guys, and when they go in, they're pretty effective.
Bruce, I'd ask you too about Mac. What do you hope that fans remember about Mac?
Well, it's a young man that kind of saved us as far as big guys, and he started every game since he's been here, and I've always said he's when he has his motor going, he's one of the best ball screen defenders in the country. For a young man, that probably doesn't mean much, but it's to me it does as a coach when he plays with his motor like he did. Even last game he just got in foul trouble, but obviously Kansas against Azubuike, last week I thought he was a very effective player. He's had some really good games. He's really played well in Kansas City, to be honest. If you go back the last couple of years, and had his breakout game against Kansas in the tournament game when Dean went down. And again, proud of him. He's going to graduate. I think you could ask him. It might be his first member of his family to graduate from college. So that's a nice accomplishment that I hope he's proud of it, and he'll appreciate that it'll help him in his future.
See Dean's alley-oop with the Cavs the other day?
I did not see it. I know he was player of the week or whatever. He's had a great February. And every time I text him, I continue to encourage him because this is really important time. I know he's probably tired, and he told me one day coming up he's got to be in Canton for a game in the afternoon, then he's got to be on the roster in Cleveland at night. So it's like a JV game in high school. You get to play 2 quarters, and then you move up to the varsity for the other quarters. So it's been hard, but I've really emphasized how important it is because I've seen guys, when they get an opportunity at the end of the year, Brian Cardinal, if you know that name, a couple guys got hurt. He was with the Warriors. He played like the last 17, 18 games, had great numbers. He called me that summer. He said, "Coach, how much do you think I'm worth?" And it was like $28 million. And I drove off the road. So it's just, so it's important. I know Barry's done well, and I've really tried to encourage him to have a good finish also. Because you never know, somebody at the end picks him up 10 days and makes a mark and gives himself a chance. Want to get Mac?
He actually ran out there,
Oh.
so anything I can kind of let anybody else.
Hey, Xavier, do you have a favorite moment in Bramlage that you'll remember?
Definitely beating KU here a couple years ago. Definitely on top on the list, that and winning the 12 here against Oklahoma. So those two are pretty up there, high on the list. Just pretty special moments I had here in Bramlage. There's been a lot of them, but those two are definitely going to stick with me the most.
Was it meant to you to have your family at every single game this year, and now the last one here?
Definitely meant a lot. Just having them there, supporting me, having them behind my back, and always always hearing my dad and mom, the little things that we have on the court, just to hear them have that with them is just special. They've been there through all the games. I think over my career here, they only missed 4 games. So just have them, the love and support that they have for me, just to make them proud every day is something I go out there and do.
I know you're worried about K-State right now, but is it encouraging to see guys like, Dean and Barry, who you played with for so long, having that kind of success that maybe you hope to have at that level?
Definitely. I just texted Dean yesterday just to keep telling him to keep going, keep striving for everything he wants and loves. Love to see those guys go out there and have the success that they're having. Hopefully one day I can too.
Xavier, you were faced with a decision to go pro or to return for your senior year. Two other players in that position as senior day approaches, what advice would you give them?
Just always be smart. Play it out by what you and your family as well feel, and however you feel will help your best for the future. And I feel like you do that, you have a great job of being in a great position for yourself.
Matt, Coach Weber noted you might be the first in your family to graduate college. I guess, one, is that true? And then what does that mean to you?
Actually, my father graduated with a master's, I think.
Okay.
He went to a few universities, one in Africa, one in America. We don't have a lot of people going to college in my family, but my father's probably one of the first.
Yeah. And what does it mean to your family then for you to get that degree and have gone and done this?
It means a lot, especially to my father. He's always kind of push academics.
Yeah.
That's always been like the most important thing to him. And then the next was basketball, So yeah, it was very important for him to see me graduate.
Mac, what will you remember most about your K-State career?
Just a lot. I remember a lot. Just memories being with the guys, man. Teammates, coach, staff. We had so many good memories. We had having success, even the lows. Remember them too. Just being around these guys is a special thing, man. Because push for greatness. And we work so hard to try to achieve that. I think we got close to it. Been there, I think, and it's been a good 3 years of my life playing at K-State, and I'm known it forever.
Mac, do you have a favorite moment from Bramlage in your career?
Shoot, winning the Big 12, man. Special. Because it was something that we talked about doing, talked about every day. And then we went out there and achieved it. I think that's one of my favorite memories because it's something we set out from the beginning, and then we did it. And there's no doubts. We all believe that.
I'm gonna let X leave, and I'll throw Pierson up here for you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, X. Appreciate it. So next, Pierson. Nice one.
Pierson.
Kind of seemed like just yesterday you were rebounding basketballs out here as a kid, and now senior day's coming. Does it seem like time goes really fast? And what has K-State meant to you?
Yeah, it flies by. 5 years doesn't really seem real, but I'm just so appreciative for this opportunity. I've accomplished more than I even dreamed. Growing up here, Jim Woldridge, Jared, and being in Allen Fieldhouse in 2006 when they won that game. Just growing up around K-State basketball has just been so special. Part of my life outside of being a part of the program, and then to be here and obviously firsthand experience a lot of cool memories. I'm just so thankful for that opportunity.
What's going to be running through your mind when you're out there hugging your folks at midcourt and all the cheers?
I don't even know. There's going to be so many thoughts and emotions. I'll kind of be thinking through that tonight. To not get too emotional because obviously we'll have a game and a task at hand. But it'll be really special to experience that with them because basketball has been really special for my family and really brought us closer together. And obviously to do it here at K-State where I grew up, I just seeing Coach Weber out there and being able to hug him, it'll be a real special opportunity.
And you've had a lot of people in the Manhattan community that have seen you grow before their very eyes. How special has the Manhattan community been to you throughout all this?
Oh, they've been, right there hand in hand on the way. Being involved in the community, having their support, through the ups and downs, being, redshirt my freshman year, and still just, them being encouraging and seeing the little things that, I pride in helping the team when I wasn't out there on the court necessarily. Just day in and day out stuff. Their constant support and positivity was really encouraging, and one of the main reasons why I chose to stay here.
Mac, how important has Pierson been to this program, in your opinion, the last 3 years that you've been here?
Yeah, he's one of the leaders. He's been a consistent leader for many years now. I don't think there's enough credit for that. He's always been vocal, always giving us input. It's been very helpful in practice, doing his best. Playing hard, working hard, doing whatever we can do to help us. We continue to grow as a team. And I don't think there's enough credit for that, honestly.
One more question, guys. I need to get into practice.
One more, Pierson. Did you know how long you were going to be at K-State? I mean, did you always have football going through your blood?
I think in the back of my mind that was always there. I mean, I'll be honest, going through recruitment process early, kind of heading, start of high school, I don't think it was really ever a possibility in my mind, to be honest. I hadn't developed, I hadn't done the things that I needed to do, and then come junior year, junior summer, going into senior year, things started to happen. Played a lot better basketball, and then when I was able to sit down with Coach Weber and he offered me an opportunity to walk on, there was no doubt in my mind this is where I wanted to be.
What were the other options you considered or were considering at the time?
Yeah, so I had Coach Chipman at Washburn was probably where I was right in between. I talked with Coach Makol at Northwest Missouri State about a potential kind of walk-on redshirt to earn scholarship money there. But my scholarship offer that I was really looking at was Washburn. And, it was, MIAA is a great conference where my sister plays. A lot of good basketball, players, Trevor Hudgens, just lighting it up. And, at the end of the day, when I sat down in that meeting and just looked at all the things that, I'd be a better man, establish better work ethic, coming out of Coach Weber's program, there was no doubt in my mind.
Okay. Thanks.